Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive. Today, we're tackling something that's super relevant for so many of us, eating with diabetes.
That's right. Whether you're newly diagnosed or just, looking for some fresh ideas, we're here to break it all down.
No overwhelm, just clear, actionable info. Because let's face it, there's a lot of noise out there, and it can be confusing.
Exactly. My goal is to connect the dots for you, show you how this knowledge translates into your daily life, those aha moments.
Love that. So let's dive right in. Why is a diabetes diet even a thing? What makes food choices so important here?
Well, it all comes down to insulin, right? You know, how our bodies are supposed to take food and turn it into energy.
Right.
Insulin is like that crucial key, letting glucose, which is our energy source, into our cells.
Okay.
Diabetes kind of messes with that process. Either the key isn't there, or it's not working as well as it should.
So the energy is stuck,
Yep.
like a traffic jam.
Exactly. And that's where your food choices come in. They directly affect how much glucose is hanging around, waiting to get into those cells.
Okay, so what we eat plays a huge role. So let's break it down into those building blocks. Carbs, protein, fats. Where do we even start?
Let's start with carbs. The key here is understanding that not all carbs are created equal. Think about it.
Okay.
Simple carbs like that white bread or candy, they're like a quick burst of energy, right? Burns bright, but then fades away fast.
Okay.
But complex carbs, like whole grains or lentils, they're your slow and steady energy source, keeping you fueled for the long haul.
So ditch the sugar rush for sustained energy. I like it. Now, what about protein?
Protein is essential, not just for building muscles, but also for keeping your blood sugar stable. And here's a bonus.
Yeah.
When you choose lean protein sources, fish, chicken, beans, lentils, they also help you feel fuller for longer.
Double win. Okay, so we're not skimping on those lean proteins. What about fats, though? This is where it gets confusing.
It really does. There's this big misconception that all fats are bad. Not true at all. Healthy fats, especially for those with diabetes, they're beneficial. They can actually help regulate your blood sugar and even improve insulin sensitivity.
So avocado is back on the menu. This deep dive is already life-changing. But what makes avocado, and olive oil too, so good?
They're loaded with monounsaturated fats, which have been linked to better blood sugar control, even better heart health, both super important for managing diabetes.
Good fats, got it. Now, onto something that feels like a secret weapon. Fiber. Why is it so important for diabetes-friendly eating?
Think of fiber as that reliable friend, always there for you, especially when things get a little crazy, like with your blood sugar.
Okay.
It helps slow down the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream, preventing those dramatic spikes and crashes.
So more fiber, fewer blood sugar roller coasters.
Gotcha.
Any favorite sources of fiber? You mentioned lentils earlier.
You remember that? They're like the unsung heroes of fiber. Lentils pack a whopping 15.6 grams per serving. That's almost 4 times the amount in an apple.
Wow. Okay, lentils are officially impressive. But how does all that fiber actually work in our bodies?
Imagine fiber like a sponge in your digestive system, slowing down how fast those carbs get digested and absorbed.
Okay.
This gradual process, that's what helps prevent those rapid spikes in blood sugar, which can be tough for people with diabetes.
Wow, lentils really are the MVPs here. We've covered a lot.
Yeah.
Why food choices matter, the roles of carbs, proteins, those good fats, and now fiber.
It's all about laying the groundwork. Now we can dive into some practical strategies and, those light bulb moments that can really change how you think about food.
All right, so we've got those dietary basics down, but how do we actually put this into practice? I'm sure we've all heard of the glycemic index, GI for short, but what does it even mean for, what we're actually eating?
Right, the GI can seem kind of mysterious, this random number. Basically, it tells you how quickly a carb-containing food will raise your blood sugar.
Okay.
Think of it kind of like a speed limit for your food. Low GI foods, those are like taking the scenic route, nice and steady rise in blood sugar. High GI foods, that's like slamming on the gas pedal, a quick spike, then you often crash.
So we're aiming for that scenic route, especially when you're managing diabetes. Avoid those blood sugar speed traps.
Yeah.
Are there any, surprising foods with a high GI that we should watch out for?
Well,
Besides the obvious sugary stuff.
oh, you'd be surprised. Some things that seem healthy, like white rice, even some breakfast cereals, can have a surprisingly high GI. It all comes down to how those carbs are structured.
So it's really about, knowing your labels, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Now, we can't talk about diet without mentioning drinks. It's not just about drinking tons of water all day, right?
No.
What about other diabetes-friendly drinks?
Hydration is key, for sure. But you're right, it's not just about water. Think about unsweetened herbal teas like a nice peppermint or chamomile.
Okay.
Full of flavor, good for you with antioxidants. Black coffee, that's another good option. Just skip the sugary syrups and artificial sweeteners.
Okay, so swapping out those sugary sodas and juices for herbal teas, or maybe a good cup of coffee, I can do that. Speaking of swaps, let's talk about that plate method. It's a visual I've seen, but can you break it down in a way that's, actually useful?
Yeah, the plate method. It's super helpful for building those balanced meals.
Yeah.
Imagine your plate divided into sections, right?
Okay.
Half of it filled with non-starchy veggies.
Wait, hold on, I'm picturing this.
Yeah.
Half my plate piled high with colorful veggies.
Yeah.
Broccoli, peppers, spinach, that kind of thing.
You got it. The other half, we're going to split that in two. 1/4 is for your lean protein. Grilled fish, chicken breast, tofu, so many choices. And that last quarter, that's for your complex carbs. Things like brown rice, quinoa, sweet potatoes. Those foods that give you that long-lasting energy.
Okay, so half veggies, 1/4 protein, 1/4 complex carbs. I can already see how this would be so helpful, especially when you're starting to visualize those portions.
And honestly, the plate method isn't just for people with diabetes, It's great for anyone who wants to make balanced, nutritious meals. Makes healthy eating more like second nature.
It's like a blueprint for a healthier plate, no matter who you are. But let's be real, life isn't always perfectly portioned plates. What about those times when those cravings hit between meals? Any tips for smart snacking?
Oh, absolutely. Snacking is totally fine in a diabetes-friendly diet. It's just about choosing those options that give you sustained energy and help keep your blood sugar levels from going haywire.
Right. What are some of your go-to snack combinations that fit into that?
One of my favorites is just a handful of almonds or walnuts. Good fats, protein, fiber, all there to keep you satisfied. Greek yogurt with berries is another great one. You get your protein from the yogurt, the fiber from those berries, plus bonus antioxidants. And of course, you can never go wrong with sliced veggies and hummus.
Those are great ideas. Now, portion control. People talk about it a lot, but how do you actually make it happen? Besides just telling myself to eat less, which never seems to work.
Portion control is key. But you're right, it shouldn't feel like you're constantly depriving yourself. One easy trick: use smaller plates.
Oh, interesting.
It's a simple visual cue, but it can make a difference. Another tip is to really be mindful of your surroundings.
Mindful of my surroundings, what do you mean by that?
Well, think about it. Those huge restaurant portions, the snacks that are always at eye level at the grocery store,
Right.
it's all designed to make us eat more. But if you're aware of those triggers, it can help you make smarter choices,
It's like outsmarting those environmental cues. That's interesting. Now, what about dining out? That can feel impossible when you're trying to eat healthy, let alone manage diabetes. Any strategies for navigating those restaurant menus?
It definitely takes some planning. One thing that's super helpful is to look for places that actually list the nutrition info. That way you can make decisions before you even get tempted.
Right.
And don't be afraid to ask your server about making some swaps. Most places are happy to work with you.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's okay to speak up for your needs.
Yeah.
What about some specific swaps you can make when you're ordering?
Definitely. Choosing grilled, baked, or steamed over fried is always a win. Oh, and asking for dressings and sauces on the side. That way you control how much you use. And remember those good drinks we talked about? Water, unsweetened tea, black coffee. Always a safe bet.
It's about making those little swaps, even when it feels like you're not in control, right?
Exactly. You've got this.
But it's not just about what's on our plate, is it? There's a whole lifestyle component to managing diabetes, too.
Absolutely. Food is just one part of it. It's like this web of interconnected things. For example, regular physical activity, super important. It helps improve your insulin sensitivity, which means your body gets better at using glucose for energy.
It's like exercise gives your cells a workout, too.
Yeah.
And we can't forget about sleep. I know when I'm tired, all I want is sugary snacks.
It's true. When you're sleep deprived, it affects your hormones, including the ones that control hunger and blood sugar. When you're well rested, you just make healthier choices all around.
Makes sense. And then there's stress, which can really throw things off.
Oh, for sure. Stress is huge for your overall health, and that includes blood sugar. Finding healthy ways to manage it, whether it's exercise, meditation, getting out in nature, whatever works for you, that's essential.
It's really about that holistic view, seeing how our physical and emotional health are all connected, right?
100%.
But we don't have to do this alone, do we?
Absolutely not. This is where building a support team is so important. Your doctor is your main person, of course, for medical advice and making sure things are on track. But then a registered dietitian can help you create a meal plan that really works for your needs and what you like. And don't forget about certified diabetes educators. They can give you ongoing support and guidance, especially for those day-to-day challenges.
It's good to know all that expertise is out there, but even with all the support, it really comes down to us, doesn't it?
It does. You have the power to make those decisions every day.
So how do we actually stay on top of it?
Tracking your blood sugar is key. It gives you valuable data, helps you see how your body responds to different foods, different activities, and those regular check-ins with your healthcare team. So important. It's about staying on track and making adjustments as you go.
It's like an ongoing conversation, a partnership in your health. We've covered so much today, from the basics of diabetes-friendly eating to those practical strategies, the lifestyle factors. It's a lot.
It is, but hopefully in a good way.
Definitely. For me, the big aha moment was realizing those healthy fats are actually good for you. And that simple swaps, like lentils instead of white rice, can make a difference. What about you?
For me, it's the power of the glycemic index. It's not just about managing diabetes. It's about understanding how food affects our energy, our mood, our overall well-being.
That's such a good point. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
You've got the power to take charge of your health. It's not about being perfect. It's about those daily choices that support your well-being.
Love that. And remember, knowledge is power. Keep learning, keep asking those questions, and keep talking to your healthcare team. Until next time, everyone, here's to a healthier, happier you.